get out my house. I'm trying to leave this town. I'm trying to figure this out, but I can't do it alone. I'm waiting.
Welcome back to UView, the show dedicated to all things Arlington youth. As this school year draws to a close, let's check out what everyone's been up to for one last time. Without further ado, let's get into it.
Wondering what the difference between ice cream and custard is? Well, custard has at least 1.4% egg yolk, which actually makes the treat healthier. Also new in this area, the Heights Pub opens in early June. As the weather gets hotter and COVID guidelines chill out, get yourself a frozen treat and be sure to stop by ACMI and say hi while you're at it. Enjoy your custard and thanks for tuning in to this A-Town Scoop. Hi everyone and welcome back to Student Stories. I'm joined today by some members of the GSA. We have B, who is one of the presidents, M, who is one of the vice presidents, and Greta, who is the secretary. Thank you so much for joining me today. So first off, I just want to know how you all got involved with the GSA to begin with. B, do you want to start?
Yeah, so actually I have two moms and they made me join the GSA in freshman year. But I actually didn't stay for that long, but sophomore year, a lot of my friends were in the GSA, and so that's how I got involved. And yeah.
Awesome. Do you want to go?
Sure. I've been out as pan and non-binary since 7th grade. So when I got to the high school in freshman year, I just sort of immediately went to the GSA because I'd gone to one in middle school. But then as a sophomore, I asked to be one of the leaders, and luckily I got that position. But that's why I'm at the GSA.
Should I go? Okay.
Yeah, awesome.
Similar to starting, I think the end of 6th grade is when I came out, and I really, really wanted to get more active at Audison, just in the community as a whole. So I dragged this one and a few of our other friends, and I'm really happy that happened and that we all wanted to go. And it was just a great fit, the QSA at Audison. And so we built those friendships and kept going to the club. And in high school, it just made sense for us to get involved. And since I think I can speak for both of us when I say we're both constantly working on trying to be active members of the queer community in Arlington, just applying for officer positions just seemed like the right thing to do. And I'm really grateful that we were able to get these positions and that we're able to work together.
Awesome. Well, congratulations on these leadership positions. So now I'm wondering if the GSA has any projects that they're working on right now, or if not, just any how the club meetings go, what you talk about, what you do, and any goals for these meetings. And do you want to start?
Sure. We had projects. We have a few sort of ongoing ones I can think of. We've met with some department heads about turning the curriculum more LGBTQ friendly. We met with the history head and I think some of the gym teachers about the health curriculum. We did a fundraiser in January with Arlington GSA t-shirts that went to an organization in Boston for trans youth. And can't think of too many other projects, but the meetings are usually really, really chill. We've gone from having really big in-depth discussions about media or different responses to we've talked a lot about J.K. Rowling in the past year and the contradictions of our childhoods being wrapped around Harry Potter, but also how she's impacted the queer community. But we've done a few picnics to see people in person during the pandemic, because one of the aspects of the GSA is to be yes, there are other gay kids around me and I can see their faces. But yeah, that's pretty much what we do. I don't know if the other officers have something that they want to add.
Yeah. Oh, sorry.
Oh, no, go ahead, B.
So one thing I also wanted to add is that past summer we did like a pronoun project where we created materials to educate the staff at AHS about pronoun protocol and how to normalize using pronouns. And it was shown at a staff meeting before school started, and so that was also very exciting.
Yeah, going along with that kind of in ways that we've been trying to build inclusivity in the schools. Over the course of the year, we've also collaborated with the Anti-Racism Working Group and the Young Feminist Alliance. And we've talked to Dr. Janger a few times about the new building. And so we're also actively working with other groups within the school to help cultivate this environment of respect for everybody that, you know, is such a prevalent idea in our school community.
Yeah, that sounds awesome. This is a really good cause, and I'm so that's a great those are great goals that you have. I really appreciate what you're doing for the community. So I heard I think you were talking about how you've had in-person picnics to keep people kind of in touch during the pandemic. How would you say the pandemic has affected either you personally or the queer community in general? B, do you want to start?
Oh, yeah, I can start. So one of the hardest things, okay, I love GSA meetings because it's really fun to just see other queer people at AHS. And so it was kind of hard being online and not being able to see each other in person and not being in school together, because it's really fun when you're just walking down the hallway and you see another queer person and you're like, oh, there's another one. But so it's been kind of hard being online, but it has been very nice to see people in person again, even if it's just for a picnic in a little bit. And yeah.
Yeah, Greta, do you want to build off of that at all?
I mean, I agree. I do think I'm a part of a few different clubs at the school, and not that the other clubs have been doing anything wrong, but for me personally, I think the GSA has done a great job of trying to do different kinds of meetings over the course of the Zoom year. So I think we've done a pretty good job of creating this community, which was still a great group of kids. And so having this opportunity to be back together, it's just so nice and so exciting. And everyone, it's always so energetic. And it's like Bea was saying, it's so nice to just run into these kids in the halls who, this is one of the only ways I've been able to make new friends this year, which has been so wonderful since this pandemic has been so hard on everybody socially. I'm so grateful to have this club as a way to stay in touch with people and just create such a positive environment.
I think another thing of like why it's so important to keep the GSA running through the Zoom year is that not all of us have really safe households. And so even though we're confined to our houses, we never want to like watch a fellow queer member or anyone suffer through depression, anxiety, or just not being fully accepted in their household. So having a space where you can be yourself, explore pronouns, explore names, and in the Zoom world, it's kind of almost more easier because you can just write it in a little space and call it a day. You don't have to do this formal, I'm going by this now. It's sort of just, you can do subtle, you can say it outright. But it was really awesome that so many kids showed up and was comfortable sharing these life experiences, but also like some really amazing advice with us.
Yeah, that sounds amazing. Just to wrap up, June is Pride Month, which is fantastic. We love Pride Month. Does the GSA or you personally have any plans for Pride Month, or if anyone wants to talk about why they think that I saw that look. Sorry.
Sorry.
No, you're good. Or just, and if you don't have any plans, why do you think Pride Month is important in general? Em, do you want to start?
Sure. I can't wait to have the officers meeting about what we're doing for Pride Month because it's so much fun. I think we're definitely gonna have to have a big end of the year celebration, but now we're gonna have to make it even more rainbow-tastic because it's June as well. But it's like it's so important. I've never been to an actual Pride, but even the atmosphere, right? The atmosphere of like walking down Mass Ave and seeing a rainbow crosswalk every other street, or like just all of the Target actually has a lot of rainbow Pride stuff and supports Glisten, which like is a really great outreach source for queer kids. So like it's just awesome, the organizations that are not just there for Pride Month, but there for the long haul when they go above and beyond to make it the gayest possible.
Yeah, Greta, do you want to add anything to that?
Yeah, I think specifically for the club, we have been scheming for some fun events, and the picnics we've been having are already such a positive environment. I would just say stay tuned. We have some fun, creative ideas for ways to kick off the summer in a COVID safe way. And so if you're interested, join our classroom. We have some fun things planned, and I'm just so pumped to see what this group of kids acts like when we're out of like AP tests and all the like tough grades and stuff, and we can just be together as a friend group. Because like I've said before, sorry, I keep saying the same thing, but it's such a fun group of kids. It's so low key, but also so supportive. Just, yeah, it's a wonderful group of kids, and I'm so excited to have this opportunity together.
Do you want to add anything?
I mean, honestly, I don't have a lot more to add that Em and Greta haven't covered, but yeah, I love Pride Month. I also haven't been to a real Pride, but like,
That's so sad.
you know what? I'm excited. We can have our own Pride with the GSA, and it's gonna be a lot of fun. So
Awesome. Well, sounds like y'all have some awesome things planned for the summer and for the end of the year, and yay Pride. So thank you all so much for being here. Thank you for watching, and that's all for this week's Student Stories.
Yo.
Hi everyone, and welcome back to this episode's Creativity Highlight. My name is Aiden, and I will be your host for this segment. Today, we will be showcasing two outstanding artists, Sarah and Dhruva, as they perform in the midst of a pandemic. Now, let's get right into it.
It was June, I was 10. I still think of that day now and then. A parade and a girl in a crowd of thousands. She sat straight as a queen, only 8 but so proud and serene. How they cheered, how I stared in that crowd of thousands. Then I started to run and to call out her name as the crowd on the road went wild. I reached out with my hand and looked up, and then she smiled. The parade traveled on, with the sun in my eyes she was gone. But if I were still 10, in that crowd of thousands, I'd find her again.
You're making me feel I was there too.
Maybe you were. Make it part of your story.
A parade passing by.
It was hot, not a cloud in the sky. Then a boy caught my eye in a crowd of thousands. He was thin, not too clean. There were guards, but he died. I tried not to smile, but I smiled. And then he bowed.
I didn't tell you that.
You didn't have to. I remember.
The parade traveled on. With the sun in my eyes, you were gone. But I knew even then, in a crowd of thousands, I'd find you again.
Welcome back to Pop List, the segment where I recite your favorites of a given pop culture topic and then throw them majestically into the air. It's summer, and it's time to recite your favorite backyard summer games. Here we go. Croquet, Frisbee, Cornhole, Bocce, Spike Ball, Wiffle Ball, Manhunt, Volleyball, Badminton, Catch, Cube, and Beanbag Toss. And that is a wrap on the final episode of the first official season of UView. On behalf of the entire production team, we want to thank you so much for tuning in time and time again. You made this show a major success. And although this is the final episode of Season 1, be on the lookout soon for a Season in Review special, where we'll look back on this year, look ahead to next year, and where I will sign off for the final time on this show. Be sure to stay tuned for that. But for now, and as always, on behalf of everyone, we'll see you next time.